Sauce everyone, Tissin here, and welcome back to Not So Secret Saturday. I am a little bit less energized today, but it doesn't mean I can't get back onto the grind. So, last time we were here, I was working on this second floor up here, and that's what I'm going to be doing again today. So, um, it's been a while since I've uploaded, I know. Life's kind of been getting busy, right? I'm taking a small break for my own sake, because you know, can't rush too many things, right? Whenever I get on Not So Secret Saturday, usually, um, I'm not in the best mood, right? And that's why I play it, is because, well, it gets me into a good mood, right? So, if any of you ever wonder about that, then yeah, bingo, that's the reason. Let's see. So, last time, I can't remember what my plans for this place was. I'll see, but I'll talk a little bit as I go. Should I keep this wall here? No, I'll expand it. Why not? Anyway, so one thing that's been really on my mind recently has been relationships. I'm not talking about like lovey-dovey relationships. I'm talking like, everyday friends, I've been thinking about that a lot recently. It's kind of the reason why I decided to take a little bit of a step back, so I could get comfortable with myself. So here's something that you guys should know, okay? Shouldn't be... Oh. You shouldn't lend yourself to anybody else if you can't help yourself first. Sorry for the sudden jump cut. My family is, in the house, and they're very loud. Anyway, don't try to help others if you can't help yourself first. Something that I had to learn the hard way recently. Right? When you're stressing out over nothing, a good thing to do is to try and step back and see what's causing it. You gotta figure it out. So you can't exactly go, what's it called? You can't exactly blame yourself for everything. That's not a good thing to do. Right? You have to find a root cause of a problem. And sometimes that's not always you. Or a lot of times it's not you. Right? It could be something completely different. Who knows what it could be? But once you find the root issue, fix it. I know that's kind of like cookie cutter advice, but it's about as much as I can say. Right? It's pretty simple. There's a reason it's so cookie cutter, and there's a reason it's so common, is because, well, that's probably the best thing you can do, right? Now my headset's complaining about not being plugged in. I hope it doesn't die midway through. It's going to die midway through. I bet you $5 on it. You gotta try and fix whatever the issue is yourself. If it's with you, then try and fix yourself. I know that seems like a little bit of what's the word? A little bit of an insult. But sometimes we don't see the flaws in ourselves, right? And other times we see all flaws, but nothing good. Right? Excuse me for getting so philosophical here. This is, recording stuff like this is like therapy to me. Not actual therapy. Nothing can replace actual therapy. Just go straight for actual therapy, by the way. Don't, don't skip out on it. It's important. Your mental health is very important, and you gotta treat it with the respect it deserves. And you gotta treat yourself with the respect that you deserve. So one thing that I've been trying to do lately is been trying to respect myself more. I haven't been giving myself time or a break for my own emotions, which ain't good in the long run, especially. Ooh, sugarcane. Hi. Take a little bit of this. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, look at this. Oh yeah, that's thumbnail. That is thumbnail. Nice. That's thumbnail. That's thumbnail. Okay. Yeah, you gotta treat yourself with the respect you deserve, man. That's not something that you can really skip out on. You don't have much of a choice. You gotta. Right? Otherwise, you're not gonna be, you know, in good enough spirits to help somebody else out when they're in need. Right? I've had that for a while now, and it ain't good. So, that's the thing. Right? The last video I made, I was really stressed out about something. Right? I was really stressed out about someone, I think. If I can remember correctly. I think I'm wrong. It's been a while. It's been a month, so I can't remember exactly how I feel, but the thing is, I wasn't really stressed out about the person. I was stressed out about what I thought the person was going to do. Right? Which, again, that's not good. Right? You can't put words or actions or emotions... Oh, there's a spawner in here. You can't put words or actions or emotions through other people's, you know... You can't put words into other people's mouths. You can't put emotions into other people's actions. And you can't put a reason behind their action unless you know for sure. Right? Like, I have a lot of, like, texting anxiety, which means, like, you know, if you're ever texting somebody, you always have the fear, like, oh, they're not going to respond, or, oh, this was too harsh, or, oh, this wasn't too harsh, right? Whereas in person, I'm totally fine. Right? Oh, that's a lot of coal. That's perfect. Excuse me. So, you know, you can't give yourself too much flack for something like that, right? That's more of an anxiety thing, and you gotta get used to it, man. You gotta keep telling yourself, hey, this isn't what the person means, I'm just putting words in their mouth, and that's not a good idea. Right? You gotta know, and you gotta realize, hey, wait a minute, maybe this isn't the best idea. Or, hey, wait a minute, this isn't what this person would usually do, and I'm kind of making a fool of myself, or something along those lines. Right? Like, do as Kendrick said. Sit down and be humble, because at the end of the day, it's not everybody else's fault, and it's not your fault. Right? Not immediately. Right? If there is an issue, you gotta try and solve it, and that's what you gotta do. There's no other option. Nice. There isn't really too much else to say. Right? But I've seen a lot of people who've blamed others specifically for what they've done. Right? And failed to acknowledge that they themselves had an issue, you know. That they themselves had an issue, period. Excuse my voice, by the way. I'm a little bit raspy. My throat's a bit silly right now. Yep, there you go. Excuse me. But you can't automatically, like, judge other people just because, oh, they did this one thing that I don't like. Right? You can't do that to yourself either, because it's not healthy. Right? Oh, you can't put... You have to put it on dirt? Oh, that sucks. Here. Ta-da. I gotta make a walkway up here. Something I should do next. Is this the one... Or did I already do it? No, not really. Make like a little... Maybe a bridge. I'll make a bridge here, that's for sure. I gotta see. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, but you gotta learn how to make the call. Right? You can't specifically say, oh, I can't make the call because of this. Right? Or I don't know how to make how to make the call. You make the call when you feel it's necessary. Right? If somebody's treating you garbage, for example, and you don't like the way they're treating you, or they might be oblivious to it. Right? Whoa. They might be oblivious to it, right? And that's something you gotta realize, right? Sometimes, there's a thing, I think it's a philosophical concept, something along the lines of unintentional neglect, I think. It's when somebody neglects something that they shouldn't have, right? Or they neglect somebody without realizing it, right? They don't think that they're doing anything wrong, but they are, and they don't realize it, right? That's something that you gotta keep in mind as well. It doesn't mean that that's always the case, right? I forgot what exactly it was called. I think that's what it's called. That's what I remember. But you also can't blame, you know, You can't play the blame game. You have to figure out what it is, right? You have to really comb through the options because that's more like last ditch, right? And sometimes, some people are more comfortable with some people and others are more comfortable with others, right? So if somebody's not treating you the way you'd want to be treated, right? You tell them straight up. Say, I don't like this, right? Instead of shying away from the subject, right? Because otherwise, how are they going to know, right? Yeah, this does have to do with whatever I'm dealing with. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but this is kind of like the, what's it called? I'm just trying to give out some advice, because that's what's relating to me right now, and God knows what you guys are going through, right? Can't make assumptions, right? But I'm just lending this out there just to let you guys know, hey, care about you guys, you know? And that's something you gotta keep in mind as well, is that people care about you, right? Some people get so caught up in what others feel, right? They sometimes fail to realize that a person does care about them, right? They think they're not allowed to be cared for, or nobody would care about them, and meanwhile, there's somebody who's been caring about them the whole time, right? And they never realized it. Another thing could be sometimes some people just don't want to be that close, right? And that's fine. You can't blame anybody for that, right? Sometimes you're more comfortable with one person rather than another, right? And some person wants a certain relationship with you, then it is what it is. Oh, it is what it is. Maybe the more that you get to know each other, right? The more, the mutual kind of feeling arises, right? And the more you'll be like, oh, okay. No, this is, I get what they're saying, right? Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense here. Just trying to be a little bit more chill this time around. Oh, I'm gonna have spares, but whatever. Anyway, so you can't, like, what's the word? You can't put words in people's mouths. You can't put feelings and emotions through them. At the end of the day, sometimes the way that you feel that somebody's been treating you may all be in your head, right? I know, like the all in the head guys. Ooh, scary. But sometimes it can be, right? Sometimes you realize that you've been putting all of your emotional burden on one person without realizing it, right? And that happens. I mean, that happened to me once, right? Some people don't realize what they're doing until it's too late, right? So I think there was a quote I heard. I can't remember where. This guy in an interview, and he said, "Never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence." And I like that quote. I really like that quote because it's a perfect explanation, right? Yeah, don't attribute to malice what can be attributed to Never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence. My God, sorry guys, I'm I'm out of it today. I am out of it today. Is there a creeper there? No, just the neon green grass. Oh, so that's the thing, right? You can't really do that. Because then it's not fair towards anybody, and especially it's not fair for yourself. Right? Because, again, you're not being fair to yourself, you're not being fair to other people. So you can't exactly say, oh, this is exactly how they feel, no questions asked. Right? Sometimes it's only a matter of, oh, I didn't know they felt this way. Or, oh, I thought they felt this way. Right? Feelings and emotions, right, are very, very complex things. And you don't take this as therapeutic advice, by the way. This is just what I've been thinking, right? Emotions and that kind of stuff, you can't make any assumptions towards, right? And sometimes you're in the wrong, sometimes they're in the wrong, so it's best not to make any assumptions, right? Again, never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence, right? Sometimes some people forget. Other times, some people do it intentionally. Boundaries are very important. Sometimes somebody's been hanging out with one person and they forget the boundaries of another person, they cross the line. So what do you say? You don't be quiet about it. You say, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this. And they'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Right? Problem solved. Other times, it can be more of, you can do this, by the way. I'm comfortable with this. You don't have to shy away with it. Oh, okay, sweet. It's that kind of thing. Excuse me, jeez. God, I'm a mess today. But yeah, you could probably tell by the fact that I'm not doing much on camera, but that this has been on my mind for quite a bit. Right? So there you go. Ooh, sweet. Oh, I got a friend who absolutely loves this color. Hope I can get her to watch this video. Ah. I can't blame her. This kind of blue is really, really nice. It's really, really cute. I love it. Alright. Should probably find more of those flowers, eh? See if I can find some more dandelions as well. Would be cool. Oh, and I just realized I can make the flag of Canada. I gotta make a giant maple leaf. I gotta make a giant maple leaf. That's what I gotta do. Okay. Nope, that's what we're doing now, guys. There's no questions asked. We're building a giant maple leaf. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening. That's what we're doing. We're gonna build a big old maple leaf. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Oh, I need to fill in some sand here, actually. I should probably do that first before I do anything. But yeah, that's kind of what's been on my mind lately, right? I don't know if anybody's ever. I mean, everybody's always struggled with emotions. I can't speak. My God, they've always been a tough thing to grasp, and you can't, you know, apply with one thing that you can with another thing, right? So things are different, situations are different, and depending on that, you gotta act accordingly, right? It's not something you can apply like there's just broad knowledge available. Sometimes there is, other times there isn't, right? Okay. This is the beginning of a great maple leaf. One small step for man, one giant leap for Canadian kind. Soon we will take over the world. This has been a very heartfelt episode. And that's what I kind of planned from the minute before I started recording. Excuse me. My God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm like totally. Everything's kind of. I gotta plug in my headset. But I've meant for it to be a very heartfelt episode because that's, you know, sometimes you need the. Jesus! Oh, you asshole! Wow! Way to ruin the moment. Oh, can you believe that? Oh, wow. I go to plug in my headset. I knew it. It was bait. I knew it from the beginning. Oh, that makes me mad. Okay. Oh. Alright, little lookout spot is ruined for the time being. That's okay, though. We can make do. We have the technology. Anyway. Before I got blown up, I was saying, sometimes you need those heartfelt episodes in the middle. So that way you know, feelings are not to be invalidated. You're valid for feeling what you're feeling. And you can't blame anybody else. Right? And you can't give yourself flack for something that everybody feels emotionally. Right? Feelings, yada yada, I get it. Right? But that's something that you gotta learn. And some days, there's no other person to look to than yourself to find out, you know, how things feel, I guess. I hope I'm making sense here. I'm probably gonna look over this again. I'm gonna be realized, what the hell am I saying? But yeah, there you go. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.